Dear students, I, Mr. Vishal Shah, Assistant Professor, Krishna Institute of Pharmacy, Karad, once again welcome you all to this session of the pharmaceutical analysis. In this video, we are going to cover about the limit test for the arsenic. In previous video, we have covered with the limit test for the iron. If you have not watched my previous videos related to the pharmaceutical analysis, you can watch my previous videos. And if you like the content of this my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more videos related to the pharmaceutical analysis. Now, just we will start with our today's session on the limit test for the arsenic. Now, before starting this session, just we will see what are the learning outcomes of this session. Means after completion of this session, what you should understand. So, after this session, students will be able to explain the statement, reaction and principle involved in the limit test for the arsenic. So, let's begin our today's talk on the limit test for the arsenic. Now, whatever the limit test that we have seen, this arsenic limit test is quite different because we will require a special type of apparatus to perform the limit test for the arsenic. Normally, for performing other limit test, we were using the Nessler cylinder here, but for arsenic, we are going to use the Gudset apparatus because this arsenic is very toxic. It is a heavy metal. If this is present in our sample, then it will produce a certain very serious side effects, and to avoid this, it is necessary to perform the limit test for the arsenic. Now, limit test for arsenic is based on the reduction of arsenic in the arsenious state to the arsenic gas. Means here, whatever the arsenic that is present in our sample is reduced to the arsenic gas in presence of the zinc and hydrochloric acid. So, this is the basic reaction that is involved in the limit test for the arsenic. So, limit test for arsenic is based upon the reduction of arsenic in arsenious state to arsenic gas. Means there is a formation of arsenic acid, arsenious gas or acid, and then it will be converted into the arsenic gas in presence of zinc and hydrochloric acid. The arsenic gas that is produced, it reacts with mercury chloride paper or mercury chloride. And when the reaction between arsenic gas and mercury chloride is carried out, it converts the mercury chloride paper into the yellow. And the intensity of this particular color is dependent upon the amount of arsenic that is present in our sample. Now, for performing the limit test for the arsenic, for the sample is dissolved in the acid, whereby the arsenic that is present as impurities is converted into the arsenic acid. So, this is the first step. So, conversion of arsenic into the arsenic gas is step-by-step procedure. First, when sample is dissolved into the acid, arsenic that is present is converted into the arsenic acid. Further, this arsenic acid is reduced to arsenious acid. Remember, first arsenic is formed and then arsenious. So, how to remember this? If you see the spelling of arsenic, it is consisting of a alphabet C at the end, and in arsenious there is alphabet S. If we arrange it alphabetically, C comes first. So, arsenic acid is formed first and arsenic acid is reduced to the arsenious acid by various reducing agents like stannous acid, potassium iodide, etc. Here also we are going to use the zinc, which is also acting as a reducing agent, which converts the arsenic acid into the arsenious acid. Once this arsenious acid that is formed, the nascent hydrogen formed during the reaction further reduces the arsenious acid into the arsenic gas. How this hydrogen is formed, we will see that when we are going to see the reaction, but just you can remember, hydrogen that is formed during the reaction, it converts arsenious acid into the arsenic gas, which is the last step. And this arsenic gas is reacted with mercury chloride paper to produce the yellow stain. Now, the depth of the yellow stain is dependent upon the amount of arsenic present in the sample. So this is the general rule. If the amount of sample is more, then the intensity of yellow stain that is produced will be the more. And we are again going to compare it with the standard stain that is produced from the known amount of arsenic that is present in the sample. So all the limit tests are having similarity, that just we are going to compare the test with the standard. Here also the intensity of color that is produced in the sample, we are going to carry out the comparison it with the standard yellow color that is produced. Now we will see which are the different reactions that are involved in this limit test for the arsenic. As we know, first step is conversion of arsenic into the arsenic acid. So when this arsenic which is present in our sample, when this sample is dissolved in the acid, this arsenic is reacted with the acid and it will be converted into arsenic acid. So here just how I have told you to remember, if it is consisting of a C at the end, then it will becomes alphabetically first. Now this arsenic acid, that is the H3AsO4, see here, this arsenic acid is consisting of 1 oxygen more as compared to the arsenious acid. So this arsenic acid is reduced to the arsenious acid with the help of the suitable reducing agent, and it will be converted into the arsenious acid. And in last step, the arsenious acid is again converted into the arsine gas, and this arsine gas is reacted with the mercury chloride, which leads into the formation of the yellow stain. So in this way, this particular yellow stain is produced, and we are going to compare this yellow stain with the standard. So in standard also the reactions will be same, but the amount of arsenic may be different. If our sample is consisting of less amount of arsenic, then the intensity of the yellow color that is produced, it will be less. And if our sample is consisting of arsenic in more proportion, then the intensity of yellow color that is produced will be more. So at that case, our sample does not passes the limit test. Now also, as I told you, a special apparatus that is used for the performing this limit test, and that apparatus is known as the Gudset apparatus. So this is the diagram for a typical Gudset apparatus, which is official in different pharmacopoeias like Indian pharmacopoeia, British pharmacopoeia. So here this Gudset apparatus is consisting of a bottle or a conical flask which is having a capacity of 100 ml, in which we are going to place either glass stopper or the rubber stopper, and through this stopper we are going to insert a tube. Now this tube is having about the 200 mm, or you can say 20 centimeter in a length. Whatever this particular tube is there, up to this point this tube is having the internal diameter of 5 millimeter. Now the whatever this other end is there, in which the internal diameter is less. A tip of this particular tube is having an internal diameter of about 1 millimeter, and the orifice is having about the 2 to 3 millimeter as a diameter. At the one end there is a hole in this particular tube through which arsine gas that is produced, it will pass towards the mercury chloride paper. Now on this first tube, remember the length of this tube is starting from over here. So from here another tube is placed on the flat surface of this tube. This small tube is having about 30 millimeter its length, or you can say 3 centimeters. So here two tubes are there. One is having 20 centimeter and other one is having a 3 centimeter. And here we are going to place a mercury chloride paper. So here the set of reactions are occurring. Arsenic that is present is first solubilized to arsenic acid. Arsenic acid is converted into the arsenious acid. This arsenious acid reacts with the hydrogen, which leads into the formation of arsine gas, and this arsine gas will flow through this particular hole towards this mercury chloride paper, where a yellow stain is produced, and we are going to check the intensity of this yellow color. In this way, this special type of apparatus that is used for performing the limit test for the arsenic, which is known as the Gudset apparatus. Now we will see how to prepare different reagents and solutions that are required. So many reagents and solutions that are required. Now here you can see hydrochloric acid AST. Now means AST, it stands for arsenic is having less concentration, which is commercially available. So hydrochloric acid with low in arsenic is commercially available, which can be used as it is. Then bromine solution, dissolve 9.6 ml of bromine and 30 gram of potassium bromide in sufficient water to produce the water to 100 ml. Then brominated hydrochloric acid AST, means it's a combination of this hydrochloric acid AST and the bromine. It is prepared by adding 1 ml of bromine solution, this bromine solution to 100 ml of hydrochloric acid AST. Then next solution that is required is stannous chloride. Sometimes it is used as a reducing agent, so we need to prepare this solution instead of zinc solution. It can be prepared by either of the following two methods. Dissolve 330 gram of stannous chloride in the 100 ml of hydrochloric acid and sufficient water to produce the 1000 ml. And another method, dissolve 60 ml of hydrochloric acid with 20 ml of water, add 20 gram of AT and heat gently until evolution of gas ceases. Add sufficient water to make 100 ml, store over a little of the undissolved tin remaining in the solution, protected from the air. Then stannous chloride solution AST. AST stands for low in arsenic. It is prepared by adding stannous chloride solution to equal volume of hydrochloric acid AST, reducing the original volume by boiling and filtering through a fine grain filter paper. Initially, before that, you can see we have prepared the stannous chloride solution, and now this one is the stannous chloride solution AST, which is less in the arsenic. Then stannated hydrochloric acid AST solution. It is prepared by adding 1 ml of stannous chloride solution AST. So this solution, when added to 100 ml of hydrochloric acid, we will get stannated hydrochloric acid solution, which is used as a reducing agent. Then standard arsenic solution, which is having a concentration of 10 ppm. So if our sample exceeds the concentration of 10 ppm, then our sample does not pass the limit test. So dissolve 0.33 gram of arsenic trioxide in 5 ml of 2 molar sodium hydroxide and dilute it with the 250 ml of water, and dilute 1 volume of this solution, means we have to pick up the 1 volume of this solution and we have to dissolve up to 100 volumes with the water. In this way, we can prepare the standard arsenic solution, which is used for comparison with our test solution. So this is all about the limit test for the arsenic. So here we have completed with the limit test. So we have completed with the unit 1. In next lecture, we will start with the unit 2. Stay tuned for more updates. If you have any queries related to the pharmaceutical analysis, you can contact me on my mail ID shahavishalvi99@gmail.com. And if you like the content of this my YouTube channel, please like my videos, share with your friends and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.